Hi again, everybody. I'm Harry Donahue, and welcome to Inside Golf. And coming up on today's show, we're going to take a look at the recent 100th anniversary celebration of the East Falls Golf Association. They had a little outing at Sandy Run. We've talked about the East Falls Golf Association and its history, and today we get to talk to some of the competitors as well as some of the famous residents of East Falls who showed up. I'm talking about the Gov, Ed Rendell, and Ray Dininger. Also coming up on today's show, we'll take a look at the recent Philadelphia PGA Championship. It was an up-and-down affair for the eventual winner, Alex Knoll. He set a course record at the Union League Golf Club at Tarsdale in round number 1, kind of skied up a little bit in round number 3, but held on for a thrilling victory. That and a lot more on this week's edition of Inside Golf. Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf. 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee of Philadelphia. The First Tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirsttphiladelphia.org. By the Golf Association of Philadelphia, GAP, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And by Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. By the Haverford Trust Company. Quality is in our DNA. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia Section PGA. Experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.
Golf is the great equalizer. For many, this journey is an escape from reality, a chance to be part of a team, a career opportunity. PGA Reach impacts lives through golf by lifting people up, giving them hope, and sending them down an alternate path that they never saw coming. With PGA Reach Philadelphia, as in life and in golf, the most important shot you take is the next one.
Welcome back to Inside Golf. Recently, the Philadelphia Section PGA held its year-ending big event. That would be the Philadelphia PGA Professional Championship here at the Union League Golf Club at Tarsdale. Even the famed golf course architect at Tarsdale, Donald Ross, would have been proud. This year's event featured a course record of 62, beating Sam Snead's mark of 64 that was set almost 80 years ago. But it also featured a little bit of drama coming down the stretch in round 3. Well, congratulations to our winner, Alex Knoll. Alex, actually double congratulations. One you won. That's the big one.
Yes.
And en route, it seems like it was probably a month ago in round 1, you broke and set the new course record here at the Union League of Tarsdale Golf Club with a 62. We'll get into that a little bit later. You kind of got it into the house today eventually for a 2-shot victory. Wasn't always easy, was it?
No, today was a tough day. Just trying to not think too far ahead. I know I had a 5-shot lead starting today, and haven't had too much experience in my life with a lead like that, so kind of let it slip early. Wasn't trying to play conservative, but it kind of ended up being that way all day. Eventually started to make some pars in a row on the backside and kind of hit enough shots to get in the house.
I know you came to 18, and it wasn't tough. It was tough getting on that green, even in regulation. You had a tough little, under 100-yard shot over a tree to get to the back of the green, and then you had a slider down.
Tough putt.
Make it. You knew you had a probably 2-putt, and you take your chances.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hit a great drive. Kind of had a decent lie. Had to hit up over a pretty tall tree. Kind of just pulled that off. Had a really quick putt and almost made that. That was probably one of my best putts of the day, and had a nice 3.5-footer up the hill to just kind of calm my nerves there.
It almost looks from standing behind like it took a double break. Did it start off going a little bit left to right, and then it came back a little bit left?
I had it going a little left to right. I thought it'd push more to the right and then come back left. It kind of just stayed straight, and then I knew as I was losing speed, it would miss left. I was just more concerned by the speed. I was happy about that because I knew I could race that one by if I wasn't careful.
Mentally, how'd you keep your composure, or did you, in that final round as things were maybe starting to slip away a little bit?
I saw the scores. Everyone else wasn't playing great,
Right.
so that kind of probably gave me a calm that I wasn't, but everyone else was kind of struggling too. That probably gave me the most confidence of anything because I just didn't have my swing today like I usually do. But I kept grinding, tried to find pars when I could, and held on.
You ever play here before at Tarsdale in your history as a pro golfer or amateur?
I had only played once 2 years ago. We had our assistants championship here, and it was in a deluge. So the course I played these 2 days was not what I played then. So I had really no experience coming into Tuesday and figured it out.
Yeah, you figured it out, especially in round one, a 62. You shot 30 on the back nine, and you bogeyed the 17th hole, a par three, and you made right up for it on 18 with another birdie. I mean, you ever have a competitive round like that?
No, that was my career best competitive round. We always talk about with our buddies, like, we can shoot scores like that, but it's always in a practice round when it doesn't mean anything. It means a lot under the gun. Just putted really well, drove it well. Just kind of everything went well that day, and it was really special hearing about the record that I got that day.
78 years ago, Sam Snead right here shot 64. You did two better than that, and you came out of your cart on 18 as you were ready to putt and said, Sam Snead's probably up there saying, you will never again shoot 62.
No, he took all the shots back today for sure. But that was a special day. I'll never forget that day, and this has been a special week. So even though today might not have been the way I've wanted to end it, I did finish it off, and I'm very proud of that.
So you're going to Austin, Texas. That's where the club championship is, and you'll be down there now for a sixth time, and you're a little bit on a roll, so you got some good vibes. Forget about today, right?
Yeah, no, this goes under the bridge again and on to the next round and next shot. And the goal was to make Austin, Texas this week, and I accomplished that goal. I'm starting to get a little more comfortable in that National Club Pro. I've finished in the top 50 the last couple of years, so I'd like to hopefully improve on that and maybe make the PGA Championship next year.
And the people up around Glenbrook, did they get on social media, send you some tweets saying, hey, man, keep it going?
We've had a ton of followers from the club, a lot of members, and it's a public course too, but a lot of local people up there really following and former friends out of Bethlehem as well. So it was a great day. A lot of people showing support and pulled through for him.
From Stroudsburg to Austin, Texas. Huh?
Sounds good.
That's a whole nother world, but you can handle it, I'm sure. Our congratulations to our champion here with the Philadelphia PGA Professional Championship, Alex Knoll. Go get him.
Thank you very much.
Well done, Alex, and also to the Philadelphia section as they completed another year of outstanding golf for Philadelphia area pros. All right, stay with us. Up next, we'll take a look and help celebrate the 100th anniversary of the East Falls Golf Association. They had an outing for more than 130 golfers at Sandy Run, and we were there. That's next on Inside Golf. Welcome back to Inside Golf. A few weeks ago, we did a show on the East Falls Golf Association. This is their centennial year. It began at what was then Philadelphia Country Club out on City Line Avenue, where the Schuylkill Expressway and City Line come together. Presidential, you're familiar with that. Well, here at Sandy Run Golf Club today, some of the members of the East Falls Golf Association got together for their centennial golf outing. It was a fun time. Our buddy, the historian Pete Trenum, was here, and I caught up with one gentleman who's been playing in this event since the early 1950s.
There's no other golf association like it.
No, there's nothing like it in the country. I can attest to that.
You haven't moved out yet. How many years has it been? 39 years. He hasn't moved out yet. He's moving out.
That's a nice street you live on.
So we believe it's the oldest running neighborhood tournament in the country, and no one has ever stepped forward to claim otherwise. So we're going to stick to our story. But yeah, 100 years, right? So these kids had a chance to go out, carry a bag for 10 cents, and that was their gateway to the game. They grew up to be these head professionals, superintendents, golf professionals all around, not just Philadelphia, but the country. And then they got together, and maybe it was 1919 and early 1920, and said, you think you're good? Let's have a tournament. Let's figure this out. That's where Tom Gribben, the caddy master, was essential. Tom was part of the group that really spearheaded it, and he went to the club as the caddy master on behalf of this group and said, we'd like to use the golf course. Because all these kids grew up caddying at this course. This course, by the way, which no longer exists. It's amazing. You drive along the city line.
Bob Cox was my partner today in the East Falls Golf Association's centennial event. Bob, you've only played in this thing 65 years, 1954, huh?
I know, it's hard to believe it's that long.
Really? You still look like you're ready to go. You were ready to go. You had about 4, 5, 6 pars out there today. You remembered Sandy Run?
Yes, I am.
So looking back, tell us about, well, you were 19 years old or something like that when you first started playing in this thing.
Yes, I was, and I was in Class D at the time.
Were you a caddy back in your early time at East Falls?
I was caddying Green Valley Country Club. Jerry Marr was the caddy master.
What is your fond memories about all getting together with these guys? Probably a lot of your friends aren't here anymore to play golf, but over the years, 65 of them. Tell us about the East Falls Golf Association.
Well, it used to be a big dinner, and the mayor would come and all, and John B. Kelly would be there someday, give out presents and all. It's just an annual thing you did. It was just like something you did every year. Like, people go to the Mumbers Parade or people do different things. It was just like you just went. It was part of, they had a banner across the Ridge of Midvale, big banner for the Open, yeah. The drugstore had all the prizes in the drugstore window. Where they're giving out the woods and irons and all that. The trophy, the John B. Kelly trophy, and it made a lot of nice people.
Well, Bob, I don't know if you win any trophies today, but thanks for allowing me to play with you in your 65th anniversary.
Thank you.
And I look forward to coming back for your 66th.
Thank you very much.
That wasn't the question. He tied an NFL record that was shared by a number of other quarterbacks, including one former Eagle. Who was the other Eagle quarterback?
Ray Didinger needs no introduction even to a golf audience. And he's an a former East Falls resident, right?
Correct. Yeah, I was living in East Falls for 31 years. I just moved downtown in November, but we were in East Falls right on Midvale Avenue there for 30 years. Had a great time.
There you go. And Ray also has a little bit of of history. I mean, it was short but sweet, at least the end of it. Tell us about it.
Well, when I was at the Philadelphia Bulletin, back then I was covering the Eagles, but at that time there actually was an off season in football. There was a little window there from the end of the Super Bowl to the start of training camp, but there was really nothing to do. So the paper told me, do you want to cover golf? So I covered golf for 7 years.
7 years.
And really enjoyed it. I mean, that was at a time when, Nicklaus was really good, Arnie was still competitive, Player, Casper, Miller was coming up, Watson was coming up. It was a really good time to be covering golf. And plus you had the IVB Golf Classic was going on. So there was a lot to write about in those months.
Yeah, Philadelphia had its own tour stop at White Marsh Valley, the IVB Classic. And tell us about that media day and what happened on the 18th hole.
Yeah.
1976.
1976, last time I ever swung a golf club. It was media day before the IVB Golf Classic. A week before the tournament, they would let the press come out and play the course. And so I played, and I was getting a little disenchanted with golf at that point in my life because I wasn't playing as much, so my game was kind of deteriorating. And I was thinking about maybe giving the game up. And I went out that day, and it was a very frustrating day. I was hitting the ball all over the place. And I got to the 18th hole, and I birdied it. Hit a perfect drive, hit a perfect 5-iron in about 6 feet from the hole, hold it for a birdie, and I took the club, threw it in the bag, and said, that's it. I'm done playing. And I haven't swung a golf club since.
Usually they say that last shot, and especially if it's a good one, is what brings you back. It sent you packing.
Not in my case, yeah. I knew I could play the rest of my life and never put 3 shots that good back to back to back. So I just said, you know what? It's like somebody sending me a message that now's the time to walk away, and I did.
Well, welcome back to golf.
Well, thank you.
Taking a respite from the Eagles, and especially with some of your former neighbors here from East Falls.
Having a great time. This is a great event, and I didn't realize it was the 100th until I got here, but that's it's quite a testimonial.
Sure is. Thanks, Ray.
My pleasure, Harry.
Charlie Lockery. Charlie, you've been playing in this event how long?
About 30-some years.
Is that all? 30-some?
30-some, yeah.
Now, you came up with about 6 kids in your family, and your dad grew up in East Falls, right?
Yeah, my dad grew up on Stanton Street, and I believe he did caddy over at Philly Country Club way back, you know?
Way back when this thing was just an infant, right?
Right.
And then you lived up, mainly growing up in a suburb of East Falls, Manayunk.
In Manayunk, yeah.
Yeah, famous now for the bicycle race.
That's correct, that's
There
correct.
weren't any bicycle races back then.
Not back then, no.
When did you first hear about the East Falls Golf Association? Do you remember?
I guess I was a kid. I remember my dad talking about it because his brother-in-law was Harvey Smith, and he won the East Falls about, I believe, 5 or 6 times.
Really?
And he was a fireman turned pro. But in the early days, you know, he used to, him and Fran Donahue, who was another East Falls guy, and Harvey and Fran Donahue had won this tournament combined, I would say, at least 10 or 12 times. So.
It looks like, well, today, when they had about 130 golfers out there, took a lot of time. Nobody had their eyes on a clock, though. It's one big reunion, right?
Yeah, it's one of the things where you just come out and, you know what, you take your time and enjoy the day. A lot of good camaraderie, a lot of good friends, and try to play a good round and enjoy the day.
This guy had a good round, and he really enjoyed the day. Charlie, pleasure spending a few hours with you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure playing with you.
All right, guys, welcome to the 100th East Falls Open. We've been getting up here every year saying, you know, the 100th is just around the corner, it's just around the corner. I remember saying it was 10 years away, it was 5 years away, it was 2 years away, 1 year away. Here we are. It's really great, and we're really excited about it. It's great that we had so many guys come out.
Here's a little bit of advice for the East Falls Golf Association. At next year's event, put a golf club in the hand of Ray Dittinger and Ed Rendell. I guarantee Inside Golf will be there to cover it. All right, standing in the wings, our teed-off panel next here on Inside Golf.
Players only. Basically, if you're not ready to play here, I turn her back around. It feels like a ski slope.
Welcome back. Inside Golf continues with Teed Off. We're on the back patio here at beautiful Bluestone Country Club in Bluebell, Pennsylvania. Getting ready to tee it off with our Teed Off panel today that includes Joe Logan, who's no stranger, frequent contributor, myphillygolf.com. Leela Mackey, Philadelphia section of the PGA of America. She is the director of the new foundation.
Correct.
All right, it's a new title.
Yeah,
Glad to see
Foundation
you.
Director, thank you.
There you see. And Chris Gardner, host pro at Bluestone Country Club. Which direction is the first hole from whence we speak here?
You can find the first tee right over here, back behind my right shoulder.
Right, okay. Because, the reason I ask, we've talked in the past about the best closing holes, the best par threes. We even threw in a topic one time on best halfway houses. Today we're going to talk about best opening holes. So I'll begin with you. Now that we know the location of probably one of your selections, what else is on your list of best opening holes?
Of course, I love Bluestone's opening hole, but
why do you love Bluestone's opening hole?
In this particular case, we have a par 5 starting hole. It just requires a little bit of cut off the first tee. You can just, you have two bunkers that you can see in front of you. You can just kind of cut it off that, and the longest hitters can take it over the corner. So as far as a good starting hole, you should be able to get it down there, maybe go for it in 2, or at least get a quick early par to start your day.
Maybe you, Joe Logan, and Leela, not me. Okay. Any other opening holes on your list?
First one that came to my mind when I just thought nationwide, I mean, who's got a better first starting hole than Bethpage Black? They're warning you right off the bat. They've got a sign there right behind the first tee that says, experienced players only. Basically, if you're not ready to play here, I'd turn her back around. It feels like a ski slope. It feels like a black diamond. That if you're not ready to go down there, don't even give it a shot. So right. I always love that first tee shot.
I wonder if they have one on the 10th hole that says, "See, we warned you."
Yeah, you still have time to turn back, right?
Yeah, it would seem to apply. Yeah. Joe, what's your list let's start off in the Philadelphia area.
Well,
if you have one or two from beyond, fine.
Was going to go all local.
All local.
I have two trilogies. The first trilogy, anybody who plays a lot of golf in Philadelphia would have to go with the big three, which to me are Pine Valley, Marion, and Aronimink. Those are three memorable, wonderful starting holes. But there's another trilogy that I like locally, and that is Huntington Valley, Manufacturers, and White Marsh. They're all three downhill. They're not overly difficult holes. I think a first hole ought to do, sort of eases you into the round. In each of those holes, there's room for error, but they're great. They get you going. They're just good starts.
How about your list, Leela?
I had Marion as well, just because that first tee's so close to the patio. You know, you're right there. It's a lot of pressure when people are sitting out there. And Atlantic City Country Club was another one that came to mind. You know, you're teeing off with those back tees as part of kind of that putting green. It's close to the clubhouse, and so kind of ones that are really put on a lot of pressure when you have people sitting out there were kind of ones that came to my mind.
Yeah, Atlantic City is a favorite of mine too, because of what you mentioned, and then the history of Atlantic City, and you know, the history of Marion obviously plays into a part of it. Chris, do you think when an architect designs a golf course, like somebody mentioned here earlier about normally it's a warm-up hole, the first, although a lot of people would take exception saying, wait a minute, when I was playing Aronimink whenever, that didn't seem like a warm-up to me, you know? It could have been transferred to a great closing hole.
Yeah, I would hope that most designers are going to look at it. And again, are you talking about private country club, resorts? Resort is going to probably be a little softer to start with anyway, wide fairways, a little more generous place to hit from. But, you know, again, some designers just want to start you off the bat with showing some teeth and make you earn that par to start the day. But from our side, pace of play standpoint, I don't want to make anybody hit any more than, 4 tee shots for 4 players would be enough for me. I don't want to have to see a bunch of players reload off the first tee. It's going to slow things down. So,
How about a par 5 versus a par 4? Does it make any difference, Lilo, to you, or you know, when you're with a group playing, as to what that first hole is going to be?
I kind of like a par 5 actually, because it gives you a couple shots to kind of warm up with, and it's just kind of unique. You don't see it a whole lot, so I like a par 5 to warm up. But you know, I think it kind of just depends on where a course architect wants their signature hole and what kind of they want to start the round with, and what you want to end the round with, and what you want to remember basically. But I would say I personally like a par 5 to start with.
Joe, do you think opening holes should have a little more, you know, test of the metal than they do?
Well, the reality is a lot of people who play golf get to the course late. They don't hit warm-up balls. So they're standing on the first tee, stretching, and, you know, so you don't want to...
You don't want to bear. You don't want to bear.
Understand that most golf is recreational golf, not by skilled amateurs or pros. And so you want to let people start, give them a little... You don't want to have them start with a double or triple bogey the first hole, because then already they're, you know, headed south and not happy.
Right.
Like
you know,
Rory McIlroy at the Open this year.
You know, I'm thinking in terms of hazards on an opening hole, and looking around in the Philadelphia section, there's one course. The opening hole has a little bit of a pond, and I can't think of any other. Lookaway.
Lookaway.
Well, I was going to bring one up as well. Concord has a big pond on the left side.
You're correct.
On the opening hole.
Similar, where it comes into play.
I actually like that tee shot because you can kind of just rip it over the corner if you want, but you know, you get quick left on that one, you're in trouble. But
yeah,
that was the one I was thinking.
Yeah, that was pace of play would be impacted
a
little bit. Okay, but there's enough reasons for people to worry about, I guess, pace of play later in the round. Number 1 can be a problem.
Sure.
Yeah. Lady and gentlemen, thank you very much. What's your favorite opening hole? I hope it was mentioned here today. I'm sure it was, and we'll be back. More of Inside Golf coming up.
Located in Bluebell, just a short drive from Plymouth Meeting, Bluestone Country Club offers a setting that's close at hand but feels like a world away. Bluestone offers a championship caliber golf course, practice facilities including a large driving range, separate chipping and putting areas, and a staff of PGA professionals. At the Country House at Bluestone, you'll find excellent food, superb service, and an outstanding setting. Their expert staff will assist in planning your next event, whether it's a wedding or simply a luncheon, dinner, or cocktail party. Check out Bluestone's variety of membership options. Much more than a golf course, Bluestone is a community.
Ready? Fire!
Whoa! Hey, do you guys want to come with us?
When you think about your future, you have dreams. You want to succeed. That means achieving your goals, both big and small. At Citadel, we want to help you get there. We believe that success is achieved with the right plan, the right people, and the right determination. We're committed to your success, her success, and their success. Talk to us about how we can help you reach your goals. Citadel, banking with one focus, you.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of Inside Golf. Our congratulations to Alex Knoll for winning that Philadelphia PGA Championship, and to everyone who participated in the 100th anniversary event for the East Falls Golf Association at Sandy Run. I'm Harry Donahue. Remember, no matter how bad it's going for you out there, don't pick up, and we will see you next week right here on Inside Golf.
Inside Golf is presented by Destination Montco Golf. 54 courses, 300,000 yards. Check them out at montcogolf.com. By the First Tee of Philadelphia. The First Tee helps young men and women become better golfers, but most important, better people. Get involved. Visit thefirstteephiladelphia.org. By the Golf Association of Philadelphia. GAP, celebrating amateur golf since 1897. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life. And by Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. By the Haverford Trust Company. Quality is in our DNA. And by Inside Golf's partner since 1998, the Philadelphia Section PGA. Experts in the game and business of golf. Take time to thank your local PGA golf professional.